There are so many English terms that have infiltrated the French language in the past 20 years, and there is no place where this can be seen more than on the internet. Salut, je m'appelle Alex and I give you the tools to become a better French speaker. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. However much you think French dominates modern English, a lot of that is stuff we're not even aware of because it's just been part of our vernacular for so long. But terms that we find on social media and on the internet today have all come in probably the last 15 to 20 years. So I really wanted to do a video to dive into some of this vocabulary that I find day to day when I'm surfing the web. Often there are French terms for these, but they're used either not at all or so little that to sound more natural as a French speaker, you're going to be better off, in my opinion, by using the English terms. But if you're a bit of a purist, there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to leave some links to some useful articles down below where you can find all the French terms relevant to what we're talking about today. Let's start off simply by talking about the internet or the web. The French will simply say Internet ou le web. Le web. The web has been designated the masculine gender. Not sure why, perhaps it's just default, but there you go, it's le web. Websites are called les sites web, and what you'll often see is, if you really care about the details, is that web is spelt with a capital W, les sites web, and it's two words, not one as we have in English. Alternatively, go with un site internet ou le site internet. Numéro 2 on the list of English that is found on the French web is mail or email. This is obviously used when you need to provide an email address, or when you see anything related to an email address. You'll see adresse mail or une adresse email. Une adresse mail or une adresse email. And this is found on all sorts of websites. Now this will never ever mean postal address or physical mailing address. Adresse mail is always email. So you'll see a variation of either une adresse mail, une adresse email, un mail, un email, just for short. And depending on who creates the website, they will just choose whichever one they feel most comfortable with. But I do want to mention the French term, which is courriel. And this is important to mention because I would say for every 3 or 4 places where you see adresse mail, you're going to see one courriel somewhere else. I don't think you see une adresse courriel, it's just un courriel. It's just a nice and short and sweet way of putting it all together, and that means an electronic mailing address. So un courriel. I was actually quite shocked a few months ago to see email written in big bold letters on the front of a tube of toothpaste, until I realised that it was email with an accent aigu over that E, which changes the pronunciation to email or email. Actually, I'm not even sure how you pronounce that. Anyway, I saw that and I translated it and it comes up as enamel. Enamel, so be careful there. So email without an accent on it, because if you do put an accent on it, it's going to come out really with something that doesn't fit the context. Streaming. Now you're all aware of services like Netflix and Amazon Prime, or perhaps you watch my stuff on YouTube, of course. So you are aware of the technology of streaming, even if you didn't know the exact word. So in English, we stream something when we watch something online without having to download the whole video first. It downloads as you watch it. Now this is a stream. You're streaming it. So the French take this word as well, but you kind of use it a little bit differently. So as is quite typical of them, they take our words which finish in ing and they turn them into nouns, and they use them in a way which doesn't look right to us, but anyway. So for example, j'ai regardé la vidéo d'Alex en streaming. J'ai regardé la vidéo d'Alex en streaming. Or j'écoute de la musique en streaming. Number 4 on our list of English words that the French use online is un blog. Un blog. J'ai lu un article de son blog. I'm sure you're all aware that a blog is somewhere where you read articles on a particular topic on a website, and it is the short version of weblog, a weblog, where you log stuff on the web, and that very quickly got shortened to blog, to the point now where I even had to look up what the origin of this word was. So weblog is now un blog. Again, just like le web, it's masculine in French, un blog. Now, are you familiar with the cloud, which is this concept that we all use with like Google Drive or OneDrive from Microsoft or Apple's iCloud? It's basically that place in the sky where we store our files remotely and we can get them from wherever we want. So this is a term which the French have used, although they could probably use le nuage. Le nuage, and in fact one of the articles I've left down in the description encourages the French to use the terms that they already have for these technologies, but the French will easily just say le cloud. Le cloud. Mes données sont stockées dans le cloud. Dans le cloud. Or perhaps they may even say cloud. Not sure actually, but I think they keep the English pronunciation of cloud, which would be a bit unusual, but anyway. And yeah, you can see the theme of the week on my Lightbox. Je vis dans le cloud. I live online. So numéro 6 is followers. Followers. Now this is obviously a term which comes directly from social media, the birth of social media. You follow someone on Instagram, or you follow someone on Facebook, or you subscribe to someone like me, hint hint, on YouTube. Now the French have les abonnés for subscribers, les abonnés. Les abonnés. But for followers, the French just say les followers. Les followers. They just take it directly from English. Je te follow. Je te follow. I'm sure that's a verb that's been invented from English as well. However, I'm not quite sure. Because that's just what kids do. They think English is quite cool, you know, in France. But anyway, I'm not young enough, so I usually just stick with abonné. Now the French talk about live, which is quite common in at least my world to see with Facebook Live or YouTube Live. They talk about being live as en direct. En direct. That means to be live. If you're having a live broadcast or something, it is en direct. But more and more you see the word live being used. Again, possibly because of the cool factor or because it's a couple of letters shorter than direct. You can see someone is en live, or you can faire un live if you really want to get convenient with it, you know. But this is really just for spoken French and online talk, you know. For example, l'autre jour, j'ai fait un live sur Facebook. J'ai fait un live sur Facebook, and people will understand that I did a live video. But if you have your Facebook app, for example, in French, or your Facebook account in French, you're going to see that it says Alex, French in plain sight, est actuellement en direct. Actuellement en direct. So the Facebook hasn't crossed over to using live, which is probably a good sign that it's not as integrated into French as some of the others on this list. So another example would be a live broadcast on TV, like a football match. Le match de foot ce soir est en direct. Le match de foot ce soir est en direct, or en live. En live. So what do you think? Are you in favour of these English words being used online these days by the French, or are you a bit more of a purist and you think that we should be using purely French words in this domain? Me, I'm a bit of a realist. I like to think that if people are using these words, and those are the ones I'm going to try and mimic to fit in. But of course, if I feel like something's only being used by people much younger than me, then I'm just going to feel like a grandpa. So I just try and use what's suitable for my generation that I find in my group of friends, to see how they're using the words. But let me know down below. I'm really curious to see what your thoughts are. Now guys, with videos like these where I'm giving you lots of good new vocabulary, one thing that you should absolutely be doing is logging this down in some sort of notebook or on an online application for notes, which you should be reviewing every day. Bref, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed this video, and until next time, good luck with your French. Merci beaucoup d'avoir regardé. À la prochaine. Ciao.